Last night, Kamala Harris was part of a town hall event where she answered questions from the Democrat Party's new voter base, illegal aliens and non-white, non-English speaking people. That was hosted by and aired on Univision, the Spanish station that caters to those illegal aliens and the immigrants that came to America that refuse to assimilate and don't speak our language.
Antes yo me gastaba unos $200
I used to spend $250 a week in food, and now it goes up to $350.
$200 to over $350 in groceries.
Mm-hmm. No nada más ha subido la comida, sino
not only do I talk about food, but utilities, clothes, everything is
like
much
water
more expensive.
And energy, and clothes.
Okay, so this is where we're at now. A presidential candidate is catering to people who can't even speak our language. Why are people who can't even speak English allowed to vote in American elections? Stay tuned because there's plenty more to come in this video. But real quick, subscribe to my channel if you're new here because you're not going to get independent and honest analysis that's not sugar-coated like this anywhere else. And sadly, I got to do a quick fact check of some people on our own side so that hopefully more people don't spread this fake news and end up looking like morons. This clip is going viral, showing her addressing the audience, and then the camera pans to a different angle, and you can see the teleprompter. And so people are claiming that she's reading a script off of the teleprompter. That is not true. That is the script from the host's introduction. Meanwhile, Tampon Tim was also pandering to the Democrat Party's new base, illegal aliens.
This is what you want, and this is what we know. To enact an earned pathway to citizenship for those who've lived in this country for years.
For those who broke into our country years ago, and those who just broke in yesterday. And an earned pathway to citizenship is a Democrat Orwellian code word meaning free citizenship in just a few years, just in time for the 2028 presidential election. They won't have to pay any back taxes. They won't have to pay any fines. They won't have to reimburse any of the local or state government or the federal government for any of the countless billions of dollars in services that they have been using for free that us, the taxpayers, have been footing the bill for countless years. And if we lose this election, then the Democrats are just going to wave a magic wand, and then the 35, 40 million illegal aliens who they've allowed and encouraged to come here are automatically going to be granted citizenship overnight. This is why down ballot races are just as important as the president, the House, the Senate, local positions as well. So start planning your vote because the election is going to be here before we know it. But thankfully, the more the American people see and hear Kamala, the less they like her. And so last night they brought out the big guns. Barack Obama hit the stage to campaign for Kamala, but even he is admitting the obvious.
We have not yet seen the same kinds of energy and turnout in all quarters of our neighborhoods and communities as we saw when I was running. Now, I also want to say that seems to be more pronounced with the brothers.
The brothers. That's right. I mean, most black men don't even want their baby mamas in their lives, so they certainly don't want a woman president telling them what to do. Tell us more about how worried you are, Barry Soetoro.
This election's going to be tight because there are a lot of Americans who are still struggling out there. They're still striving to make life better for themselves, for their families, and for their kids. And let's face it.
Let's face it, the Biden-Harris administration over the last 4 years has basically ruined the standard of living, not to mention caused the cultural rot that had begun during the Obama administration to spread and become a pandemic. Donald Trump is also on the campaign trail, stopping in Detroit, Michigan yesterday, where he admitted the obvious that Detroit is a hellhole. It used to be a good city, but CNN is having a hard time understanding him being so honest.
Speaking of insults, there was a pretty clear one today that came out of Detroit. Donald Trump was there speaking in Detroit, and this is what he had to say about Detroit.
The whole country is going to be like, you want to know the truth? It'll be like Detroit. Our whole country will end up being like Detroit if she's your president. You're going to have a mess on your hands. She destroyed San Francisco. She destroyed, along with Newscom, California. And we're not going to let her do that to this country. We're not going to let it happen.
I mean, it literally says Detroit Economic Club on the lectern that he's speaking in front of. But Scott, and the bigger point, one, I can't imagine if Harris said that in Wisconsin, rural Wisconsin, was that critical that it would just kind of pass by.
Well, first of all, rural Wisconsin is very nice. It's Milwaukee, which is a hellhole. They also got upset when Donald Trump admitted that. Remember, just days before the convention was there, Donald Trump refers to Milwaukee as a horrible city. Well, it is. Of course, there's a certain demographic on the North Side which is responsible for generating headlines like these every single night. Unlike other conservative channels, especially Conservative Inc., the brand name mainstream conservatives, I don't sugarcoat things. I just call them like they are. So thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel if you're new here and check back on a regular basis, and I will see you soon.